Hey, Spruce Society. How's it going? Happy Friday. I am so happy to be here. Sorry, my camera looked super zoomed in when I tested it. It did not look like this, but here we are. So I hope everyone can see. But I'm really excited to be here today. My name's Christina Adam. I'm a Diamond with Young Living. And actually, Monday, July 24th, is my 8-year Young Living anniversary. So I am super excited just for the journey that I've been on. It's been amazing to be part of the Young Living community, just to experience so many amazing benefits of the oils and the people and the business and just everything I've been blessed to learn about, and that has impacted my life and my family over the last 8 years. So a quick little snippet about me. I am married to my husband of 17 years, and we have 2 kids, ages 8 and 11, and they are part of my story as to why I got started with Young Living. So when I first was looking into getting oils, this is part of my topic that I'm going to be teaching on too. But my son at the time, he was about to turn 4. My husband and I, it was before Young Living, but we still were our own bosses. We worked from home at a photography business that was doing really well, and I was so thankful that it had grown so much. But I was really busy with my photography business, and my husband was really busy with his Etsy business, and we're thankful that we worked from home so we could sleep in some in the mornings, but we were basically up all night, like all the time, with both of our kids. I was still nursing my daughter, so I was up with her, and then our son would have bad dreams. He just was not a sound sleeper. There were so many issues with sleep in our house, and so we kind of reached our breaking point, and we were just like, we've got to do something. So Kari Ray Lewis, some of you may know her, but she was a friend of mine through photography, and she had just started using oils a couple months before, and she was also doing foster care, and she mentioned that I should try essential oils to help with my kids' sleep because she was using them with success with her kids that she had in her home at the time. So we were so desperate. We were like, whatever it is, just tell us what to buy. We'll try anything. Excuse me, sorry. She was like, well, there's different ways you can start, but most people start with this kit, and it comes with, I think at the time, 10 oils and a diffuser, and you can actually put the oils on their skin or in the diffuser, and it just helps calm them and whatever. So we got our oils, and the very first night I used them, it was lavender, peace and calming, and valor. I put the oils on my son, a little drop of each in the diffuser in his room, and a drop of each in a little coconut oil down his spine and on his feet, and he slept all night. And my husband was like, that was a fluke. There's no way that really worked. I was like, I don't know. It worked, so let's just try it again tonight. So we tried it again. It worked again. Tried it again. It kept working. Fast forward 8 years, and I still have a great sleeper on my hands, and we still use oils on our kids. Even though they're in a routine of sleeping well now, we still put oils on them every night for all the reasons you use oils. So that is my story of how I got into Young Living, and thank you. I'm eternally grateful to my friend Kari for being bold enough to just tell me, like, you need this, just try it. And it truly changed our life and our health and our family. So, okay, so we're going to talk about building your business through in-person classes. And hang on one second. I'm just going to make sure. Okay, it is going live. So I'm not going to read any of the comments because I'm way too squirrely. I will go so off track. I have notes, and that's another point of teaching classes. It's okay to use notes. You don't have to be an expert, and you don't have to memorize everything. I still use notes when I teach classes or when I do Zoom calls or online things because it helps keep me on track. So when I started out with Young Living in 2014, um, I just knew that like I was having so much success and I was sharing online, and social media is definitely was definitely a factor in my growth as far as growing my business. But a huge thing for me was classes. And sometimes those classes would look like a couple friends over to my house sitting at my kitchen table, and sometimes those classes would look like 65 people in a library conference room. And I've done classes in churches and event venues and libraries and coffee shops and my house and a million other people's houses. And I'm trying to think. There was another one that I thought of this morning that I didn't write down that was like kind of a unique place that I taught a class in. But anywhere, any space you can teach a class in. And don't feel like you have to pack your classes with 40 people for it to be a success. A class can be one-on-one. Those are actually some of my favorites, and some of the most effective classes are one-on-one because you can really get vulnerable with the person you're talking with, and they can get vulnerable with you, and you can really go deep and explain a lot of things that maybe you wouldn't want to explain in front of a group, or maybe that person wouldn't be comfortable sharing in front of a group. So if you have an opportunity to meet one-on-one with someone, don't ever feel like that's not a good thing. It is a good thing. Anytime that you can share about Young Living and about the power of essential oils and all of the products that Young Living has to offer, that's a huge success. That's a huge win. So I'm going to run you through kind of the basics of how I do my classes and kind of an outline. So if you have a notebook, if you're taking notes, you can jot down some little notes. I'm really wanting to honor your time. I'm sorry, it was a couple minutes late going on. I was having a little issue with my Facebook going live thing. But I want to keep this pretty brief because I understand how busy we are. So I just really want to get through this information, and then feel free to leave any questions or anything in the comments, and I'm going to go back later and answer those. Or if there's any other leaders on here, if there's questions, feel free to answer. You can answer in the comments. So the way I kind of run my classes is, it depends. If it's a big group, if it's a huge venue, I will stand up front at a podium or on a stage or whatever, and talk to the huge group and use a microphone if you need a microphone, if you need to be heard in a huge room. But I like to just sit with people if it's a small enough group and just be personal and relatable and be on their level. I always start just by welcoming people, thanking them for their time for coming to the class, and introducing myself. I don't ever introduce myself as an expert. Like, I am an oil veteran. I've been doing this for 8 years and I have been studying and I know everything. Like, right away, that sets me up here and them here in their mind. And that's not true. I didn't go to school for aromatherapy. I did go to college, but I didn't learn anything about oils in college. And even though I have researched a lot and I have learned a lot, I still learn new things all the time. I had actually a girl on my team commented something on a post that I posted the other day in my group, and she shared a tip, and I was like, I never knew that. And she's been using oils for like a year, and I've been doing this for 8 years. So there's always so much that you can learn no matter how long you've been doing this. So be relatable. Let people know that you know what you're talking about. Like, you have a foundation of this knowledge, but that you're not like this expert. You don't want them to ever think, oh, I could never do that. I don't know any of that stuff. She has this hour-long speech memorized. I could never do that. Like, use your notes. Keep referencing your notes and just make yourself a real person, because that's what people want. I always give my personal testimony that I just told you about how I got started with essential oils. I share that story, so if people have been to many of my classes, they're going to hear it over and over again. But it is my true testimony, and that is what initially got me hooked into oils. Of course, I had tons of other experiences after that, but that's the first one I tell. And especially as a mom of young kids, well, my kids aren't as young anymore. I'm getting older. I just turned 40 a couple weeks ago. But, when I had a 6-month-old and a 4-year-old, A lot of my friends were in that same group or that same phase of like parenting, and so they could relate to like the sleepless nights and the hyper kids or the kids who won't calm down at bedtime or whatever. And so that was a need that I knew was there, and the people that were present, not that everyone was a mom in all my classes, but that resonated with them. Like, I relate. I have that problem too. I need something to calm my kids down. So your personal story is so important. Remember that facts tell, but stories sell. So if you get up and you just start reading things off the Young Living website, that's informational, but that may not do the best for you when it comes to actually selling the products. People want to hear, how do you use these products in your home with your family, and what does it do for you? Why should I buy these? Why should I invest in these? So right off the bat, give people a pen and a piece of paper, because I learned this trick from Katie Ganger. She's in this group, and this was one of the most influential things I learned right in the beginning of my Young Living career. Give people a pen and paper, because it will keep them more focused. They won't be tempted to scroll on their phone or be chatting with their person that's, friend that's next to them. It really helps them to write down some key points and keep them focused. So give them pen and paper, and then right away, just rip the Band-Aid off. Tell people how much the starter kit is. Don't talk about it the entire class long and then at the end be like, and it's $165. No, tell them up front, and then spend the rest of your time building up the value of the kit and explaining what a good deal it is. Like, the value of the kit, I forget what it is now, but I think it's like between $375 and $400. Like, if you got on the website and you purchased every single thing as a retail customer that comes in the kit, it's close to $400, but Young Living packages this up in this pretty little bundle for you for $165, and it's a great deal. And then that way people aren't sitting there, like, I think we've all been to one of those uncomfortable classes or parties or presentations where the whole time you're like, okay, well, this stuff is cool, but how much is it? Like, I would rather just know up front and then kind of be open and make my decision at the end if I feel like it's worth the price or not, whatever the product is. As you're, once you give them the price of the kit, and stress what a good deal it is, and that, by getting the kit, they're going to become a wholesale member. It does not mean that they have to purchase every month unless they want to, but it just gives them access to our wholesale pricing or our member pricing. So after I talk about the kit, and I do always have it with me. Hold on. I take it with me. I always have a kit to show at my classes, and I always keep at least one flip kit with me. So if you don't know what a flip kit is, that is if someone buys a kit, let's say you're doing a one-on-one class and you're sitting with a friend and they're like, oh my gosh, I really need, my kid is sick, or I'm having issues with stomach, like digestion or whatever. I wish I had something right now. And you're like, I have this kit. You can order it, and when yours comes in, you can give me yours. I'm going to give you mine today to take home and start using as your own. And it's a brand new kit with unopened oils. And then when your kit comes in next week, or in whatever shipping they choose, just bring yours to me, or I'll come pick it up from you, and you can take it home today. So anyways, show them the kit. Explain how amazing it is. Most of you in this group, if you're here, you probably got started with this kit or a similar kit. I didn't bring the box out with the diffuser, but you get the gist. Show them everything that's in there and explain what the value of it is, because it's an awesome value. Okay, after you have the kit out, not with your flip kit, but with your other kit, it could even be empty bottles, but make sure you have all the oils in the box so that they can go around and smell them all. I love for people to see their reactions as they're passing the oils around and smelling the oils. That's a really powerful thing, and our sense of smell is really powerful. As you know, if you're using oils, it's incredible what our sense of smell does for us. So as you're passing them around, explain that there are three basic ways to use essential oils. topically, aromatically, and internally, so by ingesting. And then I just will break down really briefly a quick way to do each of those. So topically is how you rub it on your skin. I always recommend people starting with a carrier oil, and explain what that is because most people don't know what that is. A food grade oil like almond oil, sweet almond oil, or coconut oil, or we have our V6 oil that Young Living has, which I love. I've bought all the carrier oils. I genuinely love V6 the most. I don't think I even bought a bottle of V6 till I was 4 years into my Young Living journey. And now that I have had it the last few years, I'll never go back. I just love it so much. It's the perfect consistency. It's not too greasy. It just really helps you dilute your oils well. So topically, and then aromatically, obviously, with a diffuser, which, by the way, if you guys don't have this Luster diffuser, it is truly gorgeous, and I'm in shock that they just lowered the price. I've been going for bright colors lately. I used to always do white, but now I just switch whatever my mood is. I go for a bright color. So anyways, show the diffuser that comes, you can show any of them, but I like to show the Desert Mist because that's the most commonly ordered kit diffuser. You can show that there are other options, but that's just such a good entry level diffuser that comes with the premium starter bundles. So sorry, I keep saying kit. I know we changed the word to bundle, but old habits die hard, I guess. So explain how to diffuse. Talk about starting kind of slow. So maybe start with 4 or 5 drops in your diffuser, like in your kitchen or something. And then as you discover what scents you like, what smells you like, and if you like it more strong or weak, then you can go up or down in the strength of how many drops of oils you use. And then ingesting. Talk about our vitality oils. So the vitality oils are easy to recognize. I love that Young Living did this because they mark them with the white labels. I think I have a huge stash right here. I guess I don't have one out, but they mark the vitality oils with the white labels, so it's really easy to know, like for a beginner especially, like, can I use this one in a capsule or can I put this in my water? It's just really easy to know that way. A lot of people will question the safety of ingesting, and now that I've been doing it for so long, I mean, I've been saying this since pretty early on, but I'm like, I ingest oils all the time. I ingest digize, I ingest lemon and peppermint, and you know, I'm 8 years in and I'm healthier than I've ever been, and I've had no negative side effects. But ingesting is like another level of oil usage that is up to your comfort level, and that's up to you. So I never make people feel like they have to do that. Let's see. Safety. I mean, people will ask questions about, safety of putting it on your skin too. And I always stress, like, you can't compare our oils to grocery store oils. Like, now you can get peppermint oil in the $3 bins at Target. Like, it's crazy. When I started 8 years ago, you could not find oils at Target, I don't think. So it's a lot different now that oils have gone a little more mainstream. It's opened people's minds up a little bit, but it's also, in my opinion, created some confusion because now people think like, oh, any peppermint, it's all the same. So why would I pay, $20 some for a bottle of peppermint when I can get it at Target for $3 or $5? So I definitely talk about the difference in Young Living's quality and our Seed to Seal. Like, the Seed to Seal is the thing that sets us apart. If you aren't familiar with Seed to Seal, go to our website, to the Young Living website, and there's a whole section just on Seed to Seal, and it is amazing. It is truly the reason I will never use another brand of essential oils. I'm totally comfortable using these on myself, on my kids, around my pets, because I know it's the pure oils that come directly from the plants, and it's nothing adulterated, it's nothing added. There's so much trust in that I have with Young Living because of that Seed to Seal promise. And I've been to 5 or so of the farms around the world. Farms is another thing that you should talk about as you're talking about Seed to Seal. But that we have an open door policy that pretty much, maybe not on a holiday, but almost any day you could go to the Young Living Farm in Mona, Utah, and walk up and say, I want to tour the farm, and they're going to welcome you and they're going to show you how the process works. So no other company that I know of does that with their essential oil, all of that. So Seed to Seal and our farms, I mean, that's all a really important piece when you're talking about the quality and the safety of using topically and ingesting especially. So when you're talking about the aromatic use, like some people will only be comfortable with diffusing. Like they're going to buy a kit and they're only going to diffuse. They're not going to put them on their skin. They're not going to ingest them in their drinks or their baked goods or in a capsule, but they're just going to be diffusing. And that's okay, because diffusing is very, very effective and very powerful. I always like to give the example of our sense of smell. So your sense of smell is the only one of your 5 senses that's connected to your limbic system. So we would go really deep with this in our big classes, and it was informational, but I don't think it necessarily like sold kits, but it was really good information, and people always commented how much they learned from this segment of our class. But to sum it up, the limbic system is the control center of your brain that controls like your emotions. So it's like the emotional control center. So if you think about, if you walk into a house and someone is making chocolate chip cookies, it might take you back to being a kid and being in your grandma's kitchen and your grandma's baking, and all these memories start to flood your mind. Or if you think about, like, maybe if you walk down in the mall and you walk past some, like a perfume store, and you smell some cologne that reminds you of an ex-boyfriend or somebody that you went to school with. Like, our sense of smell is so powerful, and just like it works with cologne or perfume or cooking, it also works the same way with oils. So your mind and your body will start like reacting to certain smells. And I still, to this day, like, frankincense is one of the first things I put like on a hot washcloth and like soaked my face at night, like one of the first nights that I got my oils. And I started doing that nightly, and that created like such a bold memory for me that now when I put frankincense on, I think of standing at my sink in my old house that I lived in 8 years ago, and I still like am taken back to that memory of the first time I smelled the frankincense on the washcloth and was steaming my face. It's crazy. So anyways, you can tell little stories. You don't have to tell these stories that I'm telling you, but I'm just giving you some examples of ways that you can get your point across about the different types of the different ways that you can use oils, and also just proving how powerful our sense of smell is in our controlling our emotions. And as we know, our emotions are tied to our physical well-being, so it's really important to make that connection for people. I don't really tell a lot more than that. I try to keep it pretty brief. Of course, it goes longer than what I'm telling you right now because we go through each one of the 12 oils, and people are passing that around, and then you're giving, 1 or 2 simple uses, and you can stay as compliant or not as you want with that when you're doing an in-person class. But a way that you can use each oil. You want people to go home from that class, whether they purchase the bundle or not, and have a general idea of like, if I had this oil, I would use this for XYZ. And then if they are ordering their bundle, which hopefully they are, then they're so excited for the mail to come the next week and to start using those oils for those purposes. So at the end, closing is really important, and closing is something that I bombed at for a long time, honestly. So I learned from my mistakes and learned from other leaders in this business to really make sure that you don't leave your your clothes to your class. Like, don't just be like, okay, well, thanks for coming, and you don't need to order anything. That's all I have for you. Bye. You don't want to do that. You want to, you've just explained, they already knew the price up front. Of course, they can order a la carte and they can just order one bottle of something, or they can order thieves cleaner or whatever. But you've spent your whole time in the class building up the value of the kit, and you want to then give them the opportunity. Like, now you're giving them the opportunity. Like, now you can order it. You can have these in your home for yourself. So I would always have a station in the other room. I learned that from Katie as well. Thank you, Katie. I don't know if I've ever said that to you one-on-one, but I've learned so much from you. So like, if you're in someone's living room and you're doing a class with 5 people, then have a little station at the kitchen table where you say, okay, I'm going to go in the kitchen. When you're ready to order, come in and see me. And if you guys decide you're getting the bundles, like, we're just going to do it on our phones. Everybody can take your phone out at the same time, and I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to teach you how to order, because unlike a lot of parties that you go to where you have to fill out an order form and I have to place the order and then I deliver the things to you, I'm actually going to help you get set up with your own account. So whether you want one item now, or you want the bundle, or you want to order in the future, I'm going to teach you how to do it tonight, so that anytime you want to order something or replenish something, you know how to do it and you have your own account. You don't have to go through me as the middleman. You just order with Young Living and it comes directly to your house, and people love that. Another option for part of your clothes, you don't have to do this, but I have done this in the past and this works really well. Have maybe 3 like gift bags that are goodies that you want to give them, like maybe some roller bottles that they could take, with maybe 3 roller bottles, a little thing of carrier oil, maybe a lip balm from Young Living, maybe a pair of earrings. I have like these little, they're just cheap little earrings, and I got them online, and you can use them as diffuser earrings. You can put oils on them. They're like $5. You can have little things that you put in a goodie bag as like a giveaway bag, and say, I only have 3 of these, so the first 3 of you to order are going to go home with these bags tonight, but first come, first serve kind of thing. And then if you end up selling, let's say all 5 people order the bundle, you can honor that and be like, okay, well, I feel bad you're not getting anything, so I will get you your gift bag. I'll drop it off at your house this week, or when your kit comes in, let me know, and I'll bring it over to you, or I'll meet you, or whatever. But a lot of people feel that sense of urgency, like, oh my gosh, she only has 3 of these. I want what's in that bag, and they want to be the first to order. So you can legally, according to Young Living's policies and procedures, you can incentivize people up to $25. So you're offering them either money back, like a rebate type of thing from you in the form of like a Visa gift card or something like that, or you can give them an account credit on their Young Living account. So like their next order, they would have up to $25, whatever you decide to give them, would be in their account ready for them for their next order. Or you can do, like I said, a gift bag with like resources and accessories and things like that will help them use their kit and their oils even more. So that's kind of how I do my classes. I keep it really short and sweet. Definitely focus on seed to seal. Definitely make yourself relatable. And like, just like today, like I stumble over my words sometimes. I'm not perfect. I'm not a professional speaker. Actually, public speaking like terrifies me. Anyone who's been to one of my like live events knows that I get like splotchy hives on my neck. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. Anyone is capable of doing this if you're passionate about what you're talking about, and if you're prepared. You have a few notes and you can just talk your way through your little notes. You'll be fine. So I know a question that I'm going to get, but I'll cover really quick. I wanted to keep this under 30 minutes, and I'm at 29 minutes. I wanted to talk about like where to do classes and how to do classes. So if you have like literally no one that you feel like nobody's interested, I don't know like where I'm ever going to do it, my first class, like ask one of your close family members or friends if you can practice on them. And I'm being serious. This is not like a trick. Like you're telling them you're going to practice, but really you want them to buy your stuff. I mean, that's great if they do, but there is nothing wrong with just doing a practice class. Like ask your best friend or your sister or your grandma or whoever, like just if you can practice on them. And it's a really good opportunity. I've taught a million classes with my mom there, and some of them there's only a few people there, and some there's a lot of people there. But if you haven't done classes before, start with like a practice class. You'll probably say some things that you're like, I wish I wouldn't have said that, and then make a note of that and don't say it next time. And you can keep evolving and keep changing what, fine tuning what you say. Like I said, I bombed my closings for like the first, like a long time. I probably could have enrolled so many more people if I wouldn't have been so bad at that. But I learned, and so that's the important thing. Local, like chiropractors offices, any place that I have a girl on my team that does stuff at a local plant, like a greenhouse. That's another thing. I was going to read off all the different kinds of classes to do. I'll share some of those in the caption here because I don't want to take much more of your time. But coffee shops, just asking friends if they would be willing to host something like either at their home. That's where I turned my ringer off. Hold on a second. They would host something for you at their house, or have people to your house, and really just, even if you start with a really small group, that's fine. Like you need a few people to get started, and then it grows from there. And then I've done a lot of classes for people I don't really know, but someone will ask me like, hey, my friend wanted you to come teach a class, and then that friend invites her friends, and then that's how your network keeps growing. So I know it's been hard with, the last 2 years and everything we've been through since 2020, but I think most people are getting back to the point where they want to be socializing again, and I think it's a good opportunity for us to teach and share what we know. So, okay, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys so much. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me or just comment here, and I'll come back and answer questions. So have a great weekend, and thanks for being here. Bye.